Today I'm going to talk about IT strategy. So a lot of work that I do involves going into customers and looking at their IT operations and fixing those operations because they're not really delivering the business outcomes that they were meant to do when they were originally set up. They are not enabling the business and do what they were meant to do. So there are problems over there, and a lot of those problems go back to how the operations were set up and how they align with the business strategy. So I thought, when I was thinking about making this video, I thought, what better way to talk about IT strategy than perhaps build a high level IT strategy for a business, right? So today I'm going to take you with me while I go through the high level steps of formulating an IT strategy, at least from a high level perspective, so you can see the process that I would follow, which will give you the results for an IT organizations, which is working in collaboration with the overall business. So, let's get started on that. So I've made up this, sort of a fictitious business, and I've called it Acme Manufacturing. So it's a business which makes some doodads, some products, and they will have like any other business, a long-term business strategy, which would be set by the board, the CEO, the senior management. And to deliver upon that strategy, Acme Manufacturing will do a number of business activities. They will carry out some operations, which will allow them to, meet those strategic goal that they have set. Now, the IT strategy is how the IT and the technology organization aligns with those business activities and how they enable those business activities to turn into success from two angles. One is the operations side of things, and second is the capability development. So when we come to IT strategy, and this is the focus of the video today, it is how to take those business activities and turn them into an IT strategy for operations and IT strategy for the capability development within an IT organization. So let's dig a little bit deeper into what these things mean for us. Again, Acme Manufacturing Company, they set up a long-term strategy, as I mentioned before, and like any business, right, they also want to get more customers, cut operational costs, and develop new products and services. So, it's safe to say that any business which is out there, they are there to grow their market share and increase their overall profit margin, and hence in a similar fashion, Acme want to get more customers, cut their spending, and develop new products and services, which then translates into, a certain business activities. So for getting more customers, Acme is going to look at into invigorated sales and marketing efforts. They're going to explore new selling channels, and for this particular example, they are going to look at online selling. To cut their costs, they are going to improve and streamline their processes. They are going to shift their manufacturing to an offshore location where it is cheaper to manufacturing their key products, and they're going to automate some of the manual work they're still doing, just so the human element, the cost of the human element goes away. From a developing new products and services, they are going to invest in market research, service innovation, and service design and product development. All of these business activities, now they are looking to the person who is leading the IT services, whether that's a CIO, IT director, to enable the IT to enable all of these various business outcomes. So let's dig a little bit deeper. I'll pick one example just to illustrate my point of how to use these business activities to develop a strategy for both operations and capability development. So I've picked up the areas of online selling and manufacturing. So when we talk about online selling, Acme Incorporated want to look at their warehouse ordering systems. They will be dependent upon their inventory management systems. And when we look at manufacturing, they'll have computers which will control the assembly line. And some of the factories, the way the buildings are, as sometimes it is not easy to lay down normal cable networks, so they'll be relying upon Wi-Fi. And because they are looking to move their manufacturing capability to a offshore cheaper location, then that means they'll be looking at remote connectivity, maybe thin client solutions. So when we look at all of these things from all these systems which the IT team is managing, we talk about that these systems need to be secure, they need to be available, and they need to be reliable. So that kind of starts to give the operational aspect of the IT strategy some shape over there. And again, when you start breaking it down, you realize it's not really that difficult, because you're now aligning your activity to the business outcomes. Now, there's one key thing to make sure over here, that a lot of times I've seen people are busy and they set up the strategy, they know what they're doing, and they go on delivering and working on whatever they need to do to meet that strategy. What often happens is that they don't really have measurable outcomes which they can measure in a proper way. So 6 months down the line, the IT director or the CIO, they want to demonstrate that how IT has enabled certain business outcomes, and they can't really demonstrate that because they didn't really agree any measurable business outcomes. So in our example, the IT services organization, they will need to show that their operations are aligned and enabling business outcomes. To 6 months down the line, they can demonstrate and give some proof that the IT operations are allowing Acme to sell more and manufacture more. Again, this has to be some tangible proof of how we measure that. Again, that is something to keep in mind. From a capability development perspective, this is where we talk about that long-term thinking of how we are going to stay competitive. So we want to look at the architecture side of things, about innovation, digital transformation, all those good stuff. Again, the idea is that the capabilities that the IT has to develop, they are there to enable the business to manufacture, again, because it's a manufacturing business in our example, to manufacture quicker and smarter and cheaper. So the IT capability development in turn, again, has to go and allow the business to do their work cheaper and faster and quicker. Again, alignment of business strategy from a capability development perspective. So as you can see, it becomes fairly easy when you start breaking things down to align your IT strategy with your business strategy. Once you've done that, and again, I'm not going to cover some of the other parts because the video will become very long, but you can then start looking at the operating model, because now you've got the strategy. How is the whole IT organization going to operate? You can then look at roles and responsibilities of your team. Are they still suitable, or do you need to change, amend the job functions of what people are doing? Because your people and the job function are there to deliver upon your IT strategy. How is technology going to enable, now that you know what your strategy is, how is technology going to deliver and help you drive your strategy forward? And again, what processes you need to put into place to make sure you can get a consistent outcome day in and day out? And how are you going to apply a governance around it all? Now, maybe at some time in the future, I will discuss these things, but you should have some idea now of how I would, or you can go and develop an IT strategy which will allow you to be more integrated and more aligned with the business. So when you come to doing that work within the IT organization, it actually is seen as a business enabler, and IT is seen as, giving more value to the business. Now, there's one more thing. This particular stuff that I discussed is more aligned to those organizations where IT is part of a group function and different business units get their you know, IT services from a single shared service or a single group function, because that is where you can set one strategy for the whole of your IT organization. If the IT is split up between different business units, these particular techniques will not apply exactly as I've discussed. You'll have to tailor and change some elements, but maybe we can discuss that at some other time. And again, I hope you found this video useful. Again, anything you would like to discuss with me more, please feel free to reach out. And if you're watching this on YouTube, do not forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified when I post more videos. And again, hopefully I'll be back soon next week with another video. Until that time, stay safe and have a nice week.